Ladies and gentlemen of Hashtag Nation, welcome once again to another live broadcast from your boys at Hashtag, Paul and Mario. Paul's over there in the Yankees hat. Of course, they win the division already, Paul? I'm just
They're
curious.
always winning the
They're
division, bro.
always
It's a
winning.
loaded question. Loaded question.
My bad. I'm not too up on the baseball, but yeah, like I said,
The baseball.
uh,
Oh my God,
on the
listen to you.
baseball, I'm just so dialed into Buffalo Bills talk right now. It's insane. So, if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome. If you're a longtime subscriber, like the usual suspects, minus Kaiser Soze. So, um, I just want to let you guys know right out the gate on Sportscaster and YouTube, we are going to be simulcasting the Buffalo Bills game play by play. Paul and I will be doing it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Bills Patriots. I mean, Christmas comes one time a year, Thanksgiving, your birthday, but we get to see the Patriots twice a year. It's actually torture. It's been torture. I'm gonna be honest with you. But that notwithstanding, I'm in a couple. We're both in a couple of Facebook groups, Paul, and there's a litany of Patriot fans there, and I've been taking my fair share of beatings from the same old Bills. You guys haven't played anybody, this and that. So I just kind of want to go into. I kind of went down the rabbit hole with a few statistics, and I just wanted to go over that with you right out the gate. I went
Yeah.
down. I went down the rabbit hole with the Patriots. So I started thinking about it. You know, when the Patriots, or any team for that matter, wins by 5, 1, 10, it's not really that big of a. You won. That the whole goal is to win the game. So I started going through the Patriots archive since Tom Brady was the quarterback there, and I found some very interesting statistics as far as the Bills go right now. The way that the Buffalo Bills are going, if they continue this trend of beating teams the way that they're beating teams, they're set to have right around 110-point differential with their opponents. I'm just saying if it keeps consistent with what they're doing right now. Um, it was interesting enough when I went to you look at the Patriots statistics. It's 6 times in Brady's career. It was right around the same statistics that the Bills are currently at. So with all the winning that they have done, it really didn't matter how many points that they had won by. And that when I took even a deeper dive into it, 11 times during Brady's career,
hmm
the point differential between the Patriots and their opponents was less than 10 points a game. And
That's surprising.
it
That
seems
really
it
is.
seems very surprising because you just see like they're always blowing teams out and this and that that's going on. So I kind of wanted to right out of the gate just kind of put a kibosh on all the statistics that go on to, oh yeah, they haven't played anybody, Patriots are blowing teams out, they haven't had an offensive touchdown scored on them, and this and that and the other thing. But the main point I wanted to make, statistics aside, to quote the great Ric Flair, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And right
hmm
now, the Super Bowl defending champion New England Patriots are 3-0. That's no shock to anybody. The Buffalo Bills 3-0, shock to everyone except for probably the Bills themselves. So that going into this game, it doesn't matter because you have to beat the Patriots to get that recognition. It doesn't matter
hmm
who you beat. Are you 3-0? You beat the Jets, you beat the Giants, you beat the Bengals. It doesn't matter. It didn't matter if they came out and I struggle with this. It didn't matter if they came out and they beat LA and then they beat the Chiefs and then but you have to beat the Patriots. That's the formula that's been going on in the AFC all the time. They're the kings of the hill. Unfortunately for the Buffalo Bills, that's what you need to do. So I
Right.
just right out of the gate, I wanted to get rid of the whole talk that everyone's been going that the Bills haven't played anybody, the Patriots haven't played anybody, they're playing scrubs, that they had an extra preseason, 3 preseason games. I'm done with it. Come Sunday, if the Bills win by 1 or 20, I don't care. They have to win.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's funny because, the easy argument to make is, well, who have the Bills played this year? Okay, who have the Patriots played this year?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
If my math's correct, I think the only team that's played, the only opponent who's won a game was the Giants, right? I'm pretty
yes.
sure.
And they
Yeah.
and they had to come back from 18 down to do that.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
and the thing that gets me about this with oh the Bills haven't played anybody. Well, the Patriots played Miami and played the Jets. The Jets have one offensive touchdown the entire year.
Yep.
And unfortunately, it was against the Bills, but Miami has one offensive touchdown. Okay, so the other team that those teams played they weren't able to generate an offensive touchdown. It was the Jets. The Jets played the Browns. You put in the you put in the Patriots defense on par with the Browns now, and Miami didn't score a touchdown against the Cowboys. So are the Patriots defense as good as the Cowboys? You start to get too far away from what the actual picture is here, and the picture is Belichick and his defense can beat up on poor teams. You know, the Bills played Darnold. The Patriots didn't. They played Falk. So it was almost like
that's an interesting take on that.
Well, if you think about it, it was like they were playing Brady light. I mean, Falk just checks down to everybody all the time. So in that respect, I'm going to be outside the box a little bit on this with what we're going to talk about tonight, because I'm tired of talking about the teams that they played. Okay, are you 3-0? Yes. Are they 3-0? Yes. Do you have to beat the Patriots? Are the favorite in this game, no doubt, and I'm not going to fool myself into thinking that they're not. However, the Bills are still 3-0 for a reason. Okay, in years past, the Billsy thing to do was to be like 1-2 at this point. They would have let the Cincinnati game get away. They would have let the Jets game get away, but they didn't. They came back and they won. It didn't matter.
Right.
Brady's second year. I just want to say real quick. Brady's second year in the 2001 season when they went to the Super Bowl. I think of his 11 wins, I think 6 of them were by 9 points or less. So he was just learning the offense. He was just getting in there. Now, the only time in my life ever, #Nation, only time I'm ever going to compare Brady to Allen, ever. But if there wasn't such a big thing on him then, just by winning those games just by a little bit, why should there be that thing on Allen right now with the whole new revamped offense? I just don't get it.
Yeah, so this is where I struggle a little bit, right? Because, we talk about same old Bills, and you put out a tweet. I think you should just kind of summarize that for #Nation for those who aren't on Twitter, because I thought it was a great summation of where the Bills are based off of where they were even just 2 years ago.
Yeah, I tweeted out a little bit earlier today, actually. I said, what if the Billsy thing now is to win those close games? What if the Billsy thing now is just to come out in the end and win those games? And when you have a defense like the Bills do, you're in prime position to do that. That is something that you can hang your hat on with this defense. Now, would there be times that the offense has to bail out the defense? Yeah, the offense isn't there yet. I think when you try to compare Allen to Brady, it's an unfair comparison of offenses because the guy's been the general of this offense for 19 years. Allen hasn't even been the general of this offense for 19 games. So I think it's just a very unfair comparison when coming in. I think that's why all the favoritism is coming toward the Patriots, as well as, I mean, they're a great team. I mean, I'm not gonna deny them that. And the one thing that I'll say about Brady, many things that I will say about him, he's not an idiot. This guy's a very smart quarterback. He knows the answers to the test. That's why if we get into the schematics a little bit later today, Paul, or later tonight, I don't think blitzing him's the way to go. I think you give him the answer if you blitz him. I really do. I firmly believe that to my core. If you blitz this guy, he's going to know where the openings are in this defense. He's seen every defense that you can possibly see in his NFL career. You're not going to fool him. You got to play head up and beat him into submission. And in the 4 games that McDermott has coached against this guy, I mean, if you want to go on statistics, 3 touchdowns, 4 picks. The last game that he played in December against the Buffalo Bills, he completed 13 passes. 7 of them were to running backs. Albeit the Patriots ran for 273 in that game and they didn't need him. Right. However, you start to look at it, you're like, okay, what are the keys that the Buffalo Bills need to do to secure a victory at New Era Field on Sunday?
So, first off, Kenny Junger puts in the chat, what do you guys think about Cody Ford's play so far? Every time I've watched him, he seems like he's getting blown up. First off, you have to stop. You cannot have Josh Allen feel uneasy in the pocket. We saw what that looked like at the Bengals game, and that's not the quarterback that I want to see. That's not the quarterback we saw the first 2 weeks of the season, man. So to me, I think you have to give him the time to make quicker decisions. I think he's got to get the ball out a little bit sooner, right? He looked uneasy in the pocket against the Bengals. And if he's looking uneasy against the Bengals, I think there's an argument to be made that the worst is yet to come going against the Patriots, right?
Absolutely.
So I think there's a level of concern there. But with that being said, I think Cody Ford and Ty Nsekhe and Deion Dawkins just have to raise their level of play up for this game, because you can't let pressure get to Allen. You have to stop them at the line. And who knows? I know we're going to talk a little bit more X's and O's as we get a little bit deeper into the post game or into the pregame.
Yeah.
But that pass rush to me is item number one, and it starts with your tackles, whether that be Cody Ford, Ty Nsekhe, or Deion Dawkins. I've been okay with Cody Ford. I've been okay with Ty Nsekhe, but I had higher hopes for both of them than what I've seen.
Well, I think the one guy that you have to be very concerned with, and you brought him up on Tuesday, was Chase Winovich. I mean, he's sneaky. This guy's sneaky. He moves all around the line. He's a very good pass rusher. The guy doesn't play a ton. However, he does generate a pass rush that you have to be concerned about it if you're the Buffalo Bills. The other guy you want to be concerned about is Jamie Collins.
Yep. Who PFF has graded out of their minds right now. They're saying he's playing at like elite level linebacker production.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could put me on a high school team right now. I'd probably grade out pretty good. I mean, the teams that they've been playing are pretty horrible, and I fell victim to it, Paul. Right away, I fell victim to it. They're playing scrubs, but this guy plays the run and the pass equally well, and he's a heck of a player. He's very talented. He can get sideline to sideline. He is a guy that you have to be concerned about, and the Bills have a guy like that in Tremaine Edmonds, who is still learning. It's like when you go over from offense to defense, the narrative of the story doesn't change. You're going from Brady to Allen. Allen's still learning. Brady knows the answers. You got Collins, who Belichick isn't going to give you the keys to that defense unless he absolutely trusts you in what you're doing, what you're calling over there. This guy plays the pass. He's got 2 interceptions on the year. This guy plays the pass very well. He plays the run. Yet Edmonds, he's learning. He can get sideline to sideline when he knows the answers to the test. He can play in coverage when he knows the answers to the test. The question is, the question for me in this game, will the Patriots' run game be so successful to draw Edmonds up to the line and play action? Because that's where it's going to kill the Buffalo Bills. If they show cracks in that defensive line early, and the Patriots are able to run the ball, I know it sounds very simple, but if they're able to run the ball early on the Buffalo Bills, I foresee a very long day at New Era Field.
So a couple things go into that, right? First off, the Patriots have not been very effective on the ground so far this year, and that's probably because of their depth and injuries across the line.
Yeah.
I'll pull up what their rushing stats are so far for the year, game by game, but it's not very good. I'll pull it up and we'll talk about that in just a second.
Yeah, and another thing that you can do is with Edelman, he in that type of offense, he supplants a little bit of the run game for you. I mean, he's got 17 receptions. I think he has 17 receptions, and 10 of them have been for first downs. Sony Michel has 12 rushing first downs. So they have been able to supplant a little bit of that running game before that offensive line gets going. And I think you know the guy's name. I'm not really sure. The offensive line coach for the Patriots, who is a wizard in the NFL. If they're ever going to put a position coach in the Hall of Fame, they should put this guy in there, because this guy, he's done wonders with that offensive line up there in New England.
Yeah, you'd never hear position coaches ever end up in the talk of Hall of Fame, but it's Dante Scarnecchia, and he is just an animal with that offensive line, which, again, you talk about depth issues across the offensive line with the Patriots, and it impacts them differently than it does other teams, right?
Yeah.
That's just kind of the way that you look at it. When you have a member of the staff that's that strong, it's kind of like with the Bills and Leslie Frazier, right? You look at it and you're like, I'm not worried about the defense. They're going to be just fine, right? I'm not concerned about the defense. And that's because you have faith and trust in what they're doing. And Scarnecchia is as good as it gets inside the NFL. There's really nobody that is even close. If you take a look at his history, he's turned you look at all these guys that leave New England, right?
Yeah.
What happens afterwards? They make a ton of money and they're free agents in 3 years, right?
Yeah.
It's the way it goes. That's just the way it goes in New England. They turn and burn linemen like we can turn and burn cornerbacks. It's
It is
just,
very
I
true.
think it's a fair comparison.
That is very true. That is very true. However, the book is not fully written, I don't believe, on the Bills because they've had so much turnover in the past. So they're in the embryonic stage of their trying to make a run here in the NFL, and the way that it's been working. I mean, everyone wants to talk about how the offense of the Patriots is such a juggernaut, and the Bills they don't have a shot, and this and that. The Patriots have 11 offensive touchdowns. The Bills have 8. You're telling me that one touchdown a game, Brady's one touchdown a game better than Allen at this point in this offense? It's just learning. My question to you is this, from a schematic standpoint on the offense. Do you foresee Sweeney and Knox playing a bigger role? Maybe go a little bit more double tight when you want to throw the ball, proving that Knox and Sweeney have been receiving targets in the first 3 games because you have that option to try to just try to spread that defensive line out, or do you try to go 5 wide to spread the defense out?
I think you need to do something you haven't done all season. Right. I think you need to do what you haven't done all season. If you've had anything in your back pocket, you're pulling it out for the first 3 series of this game. And I think that means a lot of early tight end involvement, right? Because you've seen the tight ends involved, but you haven't really seen them that involved. They've bailed the tight end play has bailed Allen out, and has bailed this offense out. Because these tight ends are receiving for more yardage on average than any tight end in the NFL typically should.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think you have to do what you haven't put on tape for them yet. Right. And I'm not sure what that is. I will venture a guess that we'll see a wildcat at some point because nobody's played the wildcat on the Patriots yet this season. And since nobody's done it, I have to imagine that with a player like Andre Roberts or Isaiah McKenzie, you put them in a wildcat formation and you just kind of see what happens. If it goes for no yards, guess what? At least you put it on tape. You gave it a shot. But nobody has run a wildcat on the Patriots all season. I don't love the idea, but I also know that you have to sometimes get a little crazy.
Cameron Boone coming in hot. He said, "No, Paul. Bad Paul. Paul, the wildcat." I thought you were actually going to say Matt Barkley. I'm actually kind of stunned that you didn't say. You got to throw something at him that they haven't seen before. Well, no one's seen Barkley yet this year. So.
Oh, stop it with Matt Barkley.
Well, Chris Masevsky comes in and he says, "Listen, time to bring up Duke." I think it may be a little bit premature.
That move would have already happened by now.
Yeah, I think it's a little premature, but he's been mossing everybody in practice. It's actually pretty interesting to see what he's been able to do in practice. But like you said, you talk about this offensive line. They're young. They're still going. Maybe some double tights. Wildcat. Maybe you throw some stuff in there. I don't think you would start with that. I think the Buffalo Bills tried that last year. They tried coming out in the Wildcat the first game against the Patriots when Derek Anderson was your starter, and okay. All right.
I think the difference there, though, Mar, is they needed plays. They just needed something to run. I don't think that was a well thought out approach because you're right. Derek Anderson's first start was just a melee of, okay, what can we run? That's it. We got these 15 plays. That's not going to last a game. We need to get something else in here quick. So I think the Wildcat was there to take some plays off of Anderson's plate, right?
Yeah.
So I can't really say that they were exceptionally well thought out, right? I don't think they were exceptionally well thought out.
Well, and the other thing that you can consider too, Paul, is this: if we're going back to last season or the history of McDermott against the Patriots, I mean, he's 0-4. Tom Brady has thrown 3 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, as I mentioned earlier. Who cares? They're 4-0. That's why I don't know why such a big onus is on the Buffalo Bills and what they're doing with their offense. And they barely beat this team. They barely beat this team. Yeah. Here's the thing I wanted to ask, and I thought it was so interesting. The Bills have been in tight games. They've been down. The Patriots, I don't believe, the entire year have been down in the games, but they're so fundamentally sound. It's almost moot. It's almost a moot point. With no offensive touchdowns being scored on the New England Patriots,
Mm-hmm.
if the Buffalo Bills take the opening kickoff down and score 7, do you think that affects the psyche of the Patriots, or do you think that they're too fundamentally coached that it won't matter?
The Patriots, I don't think at any point this season have been behind. No. They were behind were they behind in Miami?
They shut them out. Would they lose the coin
Okay.
toss? That's the only thing they lost all day.
That was a good one. That was a good one. If the Patriots at this point, if you take the opening kickoff back, I don't think that bothers them at all. Right? It's that offense is not going to get flustered. It's full of veterans. Like that offense is just loaded with veterans. They're skill position players. They're not going to get flustered at all. You take the opening kickoff back. That's awesome. A ton of energy inside the stadium.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm talking about you take the not the. I'm sorry. Maybe I spoke too hastily. You get the ball first and you drive down and score, and they haven't let a touchdown in the whole year. So
Okay.
You have your scripted defense to try to come up against Allen. Allen has their script with Dayball, which we know they've been pretty good.
Yep.
They come down and they drive the ball down the field and they score on you. You haven't given up a touchdown in 3 games.
So let me ask a little bit of further clarification. So if I'm Buffalo,
Yes.
the first play of the game, I'm gonna play action. I'm in shotgun. I'm gonna play action to Singletary, right?
Okay.
And I'm gonna take a shot deep because Josh Allen hasn't hit a deep throw all season. Why not just try it? Let's just go for it all at once. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, you're 2nd and 10, right? Go ahead and test the depth of that secondary because I don't think that Patriots secondary is as good as everybody's talking about because they haven't played anybody.
No.
Right? Who have they played? They haven't played anybody. So I would go deep on that secondary, especially since the Bills have not hit any deep passes all season. Just go. Just give it one shot. Just see what happens.
Do you think that ultimately by doing that it will get the Patriots out of the box at least for a series or two?
If their game plan was Allen hasn't hit any deep throws this season, let's approach this like average NFL quarterback and not, Josh Allen throw the ball 70 yards with the flick of his wrist. If their defensive game plan coming into the week was we're not worried about the deep pass, then I think that will cause some scatter on the sidelines. It's just because if I'm Belichick, I'm not worried about the deep pass with Allen. He hasn't hit all season. Why am I going to defend against something that hasn't happened all season?
GTFB, man. It's GTFB all over again.
Oh God. Again? Again.
Town center. Yeah. Don't get me riled up right now, Paul. Don't make me start laughing for 15 minutes here. It's 10:30 at night. I don't want to wake everybody in the house because I can't breathe in the office. No, but it's a valid point. You start to evaluate the history of these two teams. Okay, if you don't want to go on things that have happened this season with the poor level of play that they both teams have been going up against, you have to try to evaluate the history. What have the Patriots done to beat the Bills? They're fairly close in turnovers in the 4 games since McDermott has gotten there. I think it's 6-5 in favor of the Patriots. If you want to look at the last game that they played, it was in December last year. Both teams combined to go 5 for 25 on 3rd downs, and that was when the Buffalo Bills defense was actually hitting their stride and actually gelling as a unit. So, if Brady was only able to complete 13 passes, and they really relied heavily on the run in that game, and in the 4 games that they have played, the Patriots are averaging 38 carries for 183 yards and 2 touchdowns. You can have me at quarterback, and I would at least go 3-1 in those games. Okay. You want to give me 183 yards on the ground? Are you kidding me? But it's a little different this year with the offenses. Even though they have played poor teams, it wasn't like the Buffalo Bills are scoring quick and then they have a lull. Or they have put sustained drives together, and they're 5th in the NFL right now in time of possession, while the New England Patriots are 2nd. So They are teams that have been able to control the ball against subpar competition. Yet when they meet each other, it's almost like the gorilla monsoon. The irresistible force meeting the immovable object. Who's going to blink first in this game? Whereas I would say a lot of times a turnover would determine this game. We haven't seen it determine many games in the past because they have had the same level of turnovers. So coming out of the box, throwing a deep ball, I'm not against it. I mean, if you want a new era to be loud, have John Brown hit a 75-yard touchdown over Gilmore. That place will go insane.
Ronald Lennox said in the chat, he goes, I think they've been hiding Foster. I think they've been saving Foster for this, right?
Oh,
that's a fascinating idea, right? You got a burner there. You haven't used him at all. He's just kind of hidden. Everybody knows who he is, right? Everybody knows who Robert Foster is, but you just haven't seen him, right? You haven't seen him at all.
Well, we look at the offenses that are built now in the NFL, Paul. What do you have? You have a pretty solid tight end. You have a burner, and you have a guy that gets first downs for you. All right. You have a lot of offenses just set up that way. Not many offenses have two burners. If they do, the level of drop off and talent level from the first burner to the second burner really isn't that good. I mean, it's a wide margin, pretty significant margin. So defenses have been setting up their defenses. So one corner takes the burner, the other one takes the short route guy. We've seen that with the Buffalo Bills. I think Levi Wallace is a lot better on the burners than Trey White is, and I think very highly of Trey White. I'm not trying to gain enemies here, but that's just me.
Trey did a good job on John Ross.
He did.
That was the big concern for me. He did a real good job on John Ross.
He definitely did. And so if the Buffalo Bills are coming out and they put Foster and Brown on opposite sides, what do the Patriots do? Do they stay in their cover two shell, or do they back off? A lot of things what the Patriots have been doing is a lot of their guys stand at the line of scrimmage, so you don't know who the down linemen are and who's coming.
Right.
That has to get diagnosed by Morse and has to be diagnosed quick. I think an advantage for the Bills is that Morse played in Kansas City last year and seen the best of the Patriots in that AFC Championship game.
Sure.
So, wait, was he hurt during that game, or did he play? I'm sorry, someone fact check me on that. If he did play in that game,
I thought he played.
That's a decisive advantage by having Morse because he has seen this defense top notch, up close and personal. So he would be able to definitely be a great asset for Allen in there and trying to direct this line.
Felix De Leon asks in the chat, can our receivers get open against this defense that will most likely be in man coverage at least to start the game?
Do you think they'll be in man?
I don't think they have any reason to fear Josh Allen reading coverages, right? So why not just keep it simple? You play man across the back end. You just kind of keep it simple. I mean, what are you worried about Josh Allen reading coverages for, right? Why does that concern you?
Well,
you're not disguising coverages.
Well, the interesting part about going man against Allen is that you talked about earlier, they've probably been hiding Foster. Or hashtag Nation came in. I'm sorry, I can't remember who had the comment. Who had the comment for they're hiding Foster? Did you say that, or did
Ronald Lennox? Yeah,
Ronald Lennox. He said that's a great point. They may be hiding Foster. However, they could be hiding Allen's legs. Not many design runs. A few, not many. So they could be done if the New England Patriots try to come out in man and he starts to see some of them defensive backs and linebackers turn around to cover their guys. See ya. Because if we're talking about this offense being a spin-off of what the New England Patriots used to run, Brian Daboll trying to emulate that type of offense, Allen has something that Brady never had, and that's wheels to get out of trouble. Whereas Brady knew he couldn't outrun anybody, so he would manipulate the pocket. Allen could just run out of there. So the pass rush for the Patriots may not pin their ears back and come at you. Like you said, they may just keep him in the pocket to try to, all right, beat us with your arm. We don't think you can. So, and I think teams have started to do that in the first 3 games, and they've paid for it because he's decisive and he's accurate. Albeit Cincinnati, he really wasn't because he had a little pressure in his face. So you pick your poison with that now. All right, do we want to get pressure in the kid's face to make him get out of the pocket, or do we keep him in the pocket and make him beat us with his arm?
So a great point was brought up by Below Zero. He goes, if they're in man, they'll have a spy. That's a great point. Yep. If you go man, it allows you to spy.
I don't think you do that though. I don't think you do it. Derek Brooks is not playing for the Patriots. He's not. You take a guy effectively out of your game. If you're spying him and he's sitting in the pocket, what is he doing?
Drinking? Have you been drinking
water
with vodka in it? Like, what do you?
Why would I ruin a perfectly good vodka by putting water in it? No, what I'm saying is that you're effectively taking one of your guys out. That if the guy never runs, like if the game plan is for Allen never to run, and for Allen to sit back there and hit those short intermediate throws, and then if it opens up, hit one over the top, you're effectively playing 10 on 11. If you just try to spy him, could I be wrong? Yeah, I could be wrong. I've been wrong all the time. Like I'm surprised we still have any subs. I've been wrong so much. The king of root beers. Yeah, you are the king of root beers.
Well, I'm drinking a Barks. That's it.
You have the most obscure drinks in your house. You had strawberry.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, but you've never. That's the biggest name brand thing you've had in your house.
Yeah, I was crushing a strawberry Fanta the other night. Well, my wife's from the Falls, so what do you expect?
I'm surprised you didn't have Faygo and relive your ICP days.
Oh God, I wasn't ever a juggalo. Okay. Whoop, whoop.
Believers talk. Dolphins spied Allen with Kiko last year, and Allen killed him. He beat up a Ken doll in Miami. I think he's still got a warrant out for his arrest down there.
I do want to bring up injuries. So let's talk a little bit about injuries for both the Patriots and the Bills. So I did not participate. You ready?
Sure.
So a long list for Buffalo. Frank Gore on a rest day, Isaiah McKenzie with an ankle, Tyler Kroft with life, and Corey Thompson with an ankle. I mean, we're more shocked when Tyler Kroft practices than when he doesn't. So
he's the Arian Foster of the Buffalo Bills. He's day to day.
Yep. Senior day to day. Arian Foster was the most frustrating running back to own because every single week he was day to day.
No, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth right now. Steven Jackson was the most frustrating running back to own ever.
Why? Because he scored like 6 touchdowns his whole career. He'd run for 200 yards, no touchdowns.
He would have. Oh, let me look at the stat sheet. 21 carries, 162 yards. Did he score? No. And I got beat. Yeah. I get beat by a guy who has Mike Tolbert, who had 4 carries and 3 touchdowns.
In a cloud of dust. Did not participate. Are you ready for this one? Marshall Newhouse did not participate today, but it was due to illness. So it's not injury, it's illness. So he might still be a go on Sunday.
Have you been watching the games? He hasn't been participating when the game's on.
It looks like he's throwing up all over himself during the game. Limited participation for the Patriots, and this is a very long list. The Patriots have a really horrible reputation of just listing everybody as limited. Right?
It's so annoying.
Here we go. I know. It's like hockey's upper body injury. What does that mean?
Dumbest thing. He got poked in the eye. It's an upper body injury.
Mm-hmm.
So stupid.
All right. So for the Patriots, limited participants: Rex Burkhead with a foot, Julian Edelman with his chest. I still haven't heard. Everything I've heard is speculation on his chest. I've heard it's torn cartilage. I heard it's broken rib. I heard it's nothing. There's a lot of Twitter doctors out there.
Well, hashtag sources. I was trying to look up some stuff before the show tonight. No, that's my source. The interweb is a wonderful place, as you said, Paul. Apparently, he's practiced the last 2 days.
Yeah, well,
yet limited, but he has practiced, which seems to be. But you know what? Interestingly enough, when I was going through the archives and watching a little bit of film, Dorsett seems poised to take that role when Edelman's done. Dorsett is impressive. I'm gonna say
you've had an unhealthy relationship with Philip Dorsett in your fantasy football career, so I'm gonna hesitate when I believe you.
Listen, if you want to say I have an unhealthy relationship with Eric Ebron, I can understand that to the fullest. Maybe Tevin Coleman. However, I do not have an uncomfortable relationship with Philip Dorsett when I see the fact that more than I think 40% of his catches are first downs, and he's the only guy that's anywhere close to Edelman as far as a guy that catches first downs.
Mother of God.
There's something wrong with you.
Too bad they weren't chugging ketchup. I mean, if you wanted ketchup.
So Ryan Izzo with a calf, Matt Lacrosse with an ankle. So actually both tight ends for the Patriots were limited in practice. Michael Bennett with a shoulder, although I don't know how he could get a shoulder injury. He doesn't actually wear shoulder pads on Sunday. He's got the smallest shoulder. The NFL needs to do something about that. He doesn't.
Does he wear lacrosse pads?
They don't. It does not look like he wears shoulder pads.
Does Chris Hogan?
He just stole Chris Hogan's lacrosse pads. Dante Hightower with a shoulder. Nate Ebler with a groin, now under the Bills. Devin Singletary did practice. He was limited, but he did practice, right?
That's
so
good. That's good.
Tomorrow's kind of a better indicator. If he's limited again tomorrow, that's actually not a bad thing. If he does not practice tomorrow, that is a bad thing. So limited back-to-back is not the worst thing in the world. But hamstrings are funky, so normally that's a few weeks depending on what it was. So Devin Singletary was limited. Robert Foster was limited with a groin. Zay Jones was limited with a shoulder. Feliciano with neck. Teron Johnson with a hamstring. And Tre'Davious White also was limited with the neck. So that's a bunch, right? Foster's kind of the new one. I didn't think he had been on the injury report earlier this season. So the groin thing is kind of a surprise. So I don't know what got tweaked there. Certainly didn't happen on the field. Gotta be on it to get hurt there. So I don't think it was on the
field. It could be a little bit of sleight of hand, really. It could be just the Patriots and the Bills playing a little cat and mouse, trying to mess around. If what we talked about earlier was if whatever we talked about earlier with Foster was the game plan to try to get him to go deep, why not say that he had an injury to his groin of all places? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, it's not like anybody's going to check.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just put it out there, Paul. Just put it out there. So, no, I am tired. I'm at this point now where I'm just tired of we go back to they're playing crappy teams. They're both playing crappy teams. The Patriots are always 3-0. The Bills are the Bills, and it's something where I think a lot of people that aren't really connected to the team, like we're not connected to the team. I'm talking about the team that follow the team. Don't really know the fact that this isn't the same old Bills. The infrastructure of the whole team has changed. It looks like they have things going in the right direction. It looks like they have, as far as from their draft, their quality control, the GM, the owner, the whole coaching staff, and everything that they're going to do. It seems like they're all on the same page in what they want to do, and no one has seen that in Buffalo for a long time. And it's like, until I see it, I'm not going to believe it. If the Buffalo Bills were to have a victory, I don't think it's going to be a big one. If the Bills were to have a victory this Sunday, I think some people will kind of like step back for a second and go, okay, all right. But then the thing is this, and this is going to be worrisome for me. This team really hasn't enjoyed a lot of success. Okay, there's only 4 guys on this team that have ever heard drought talk. Everyone else is brand new. But the point is this: how are these guys going to handle the success they get if they beat the Patriots? I'm just curious about that. Is the infrastructure that strong that they're able to handle success?
Any Patriots victory has been like the one straw that we held on to with our sanity, right? Like that was the one thing we're like, and Jamie Osgood is here. I'm actually glad Jamie mentioned this in the chat. I saw Jamie post this in his Bills group, Buffalo 13th Man, was that the Bills beat the Patriots every 8 years. It's like a leap year, only for the Bills. They beat the Patriots every 8 years. Well, guess what time it is? When was the last time we beat the Patriots?
2011 was a 34-31 victory with Freddie Jackson catching a Fitzpatrick pass over the middle, and we all thought he was in. And I was the only guy in Buffalo that said, he's not in. Let's run the clock down and kick a field goal. It's
Yeah.
interesting, but the other thing that Jamie said, it was very interesting as well. He said, "How will Devlin's absence affect the Pac's run game?"
Yeah, I'm glad you saw that
Yeah.
because I was going to ask the same thing. So here's what the Patriots ended up doing, right? And it's kind of fun how this all worked out. So, because the fullback is not an actual position on the depth chart, ESPN does not have any fullbacks listed, right?
Yeah.
They don't list fullbacks. But the Patriots absolutely do have one. I'll have to bring up his name. I'll have to search his name because I just for the life of me can't remember. It was somebody who they actually got from the international program. So just like how the Bills got Wade, there was a player that they retained from the international program, but he's not listed on their depth chart at all. I'll have to bring up his name. It's a funky name. As soon as I see it, I'll remember what it is. I will find it. But there, understand the amount of snaps that Devlin played for this offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was on there for every touchdown, like the last 2 seasons, right? He was a massive component to their offense. 46% of snaps week 1, 38% of snaps week 2.
Okay.
That's massive. That's a massive percentage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Definitely. So I mean, they always move guys around, do some crazy stuff with it. Anyway, I'm not even.
You're not even worried about this?
I'm not. I mean, it's so minuscule. I mean, the offenses that are going to be going against each other. Now, here, I'll say it. I'll say it. You want me to say it? I'll say it. This could be the most boring game you've ever watched in your life. Okay? Get ready. These two teams, Earnhardt Perkins system teams, the Patriots have perfected it. The Bills are trying to run it. These teams, the beauty of the system is they take whatever the defense will give you. If it's 3 yards, it's 3 yards. If it's a 4-yard pass, it's a 4-yard pass. They will nickel and dime you to death until you get so frustrated as a defense, you try to do something to stop them, and then they go over the top with you with a big play, and now you're really driving yourself nuts. Call me a liar if you've seen that from the Patriots over the past 19 years. They have done that over and over and over again. Hey, we're in the game for the first half, and then they just blow the doors off you in the second. Okay, because Belichick makes the best halftime adjustments of anybody I've ever seen in my life, and he is the reason. He is the GOAT. Okay, if I could ever throw a shot at Brady, here it is. Belichick is the GOAT. All right. If you can I'll just say this about Brady. If you can make an argument by saying, hey, would the Patriots be better if this quarterback, insert name here, was there instead of Brady? Then he's not the GOAT. He's not. If you put Breeze on the Patriots throughout that entire time, are they better? I think so. Manning? Absolutely. So, in that respect, that's why I can never call him the GOAT. Has he been a thorn in my side? And can I not stand him? Absolutely. But the guy's he's a brilliant quarterback. He knows what he needs to do to win. He knows the answers to the test. That's why he's so damn frustrating.
So I am going to not call Tom Brady the GOAT. And this is not Patriot hate talk, although we easily could do that.
Yes. We're trying to be objective. I'm trying to be objective, Paul.
I think of Tom Brady more as a centaur. Okay. Do you know why?
Here we go. This should be good. I want to hear it.
Okay, because on the field, with his eyes, he really does play the game at a very high level.
He does.
Right? He processes information at an incredible rate. Right. So for that, I really appreciate what Tom Brady has done to the quarterback position because he forces other quarterbacks to process information at the speed that he does. Right. That's a very high bar. Off the field, he's a horse's ass, which is why I think he's a centaur. I think that's fair. It's the best of both worlds here, guys.
I like it. It was funny, too, because if you had to think of one name, I think my brother told me this the other day, and here's a guy that studied football for almost 40 years now. If you had to name the first game manager quarterback that comes to your mind, who do you think of?
The game manager?
If you had to think of a game manager, a guy that you picture as the poster child for game managers in the NFL, who would it be? Doesn't have to be current. Doesn't have to be current.
Pennington. He couldn't throw the ball through a window from 5 feet away. It has to be Chad Pennington.
I thought you were going to say Alex Smith.
Yeah, no, Alex Smith is a good one.
I mean, the guy had 7 offensive coordinators in 5 years in San Francisco. So everyone likes to talk about Alex Smith as a game manager. However, the greatest game manager of all time, the Bills are playing on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it this way, even the game that the Bills played against the Patriots last year, he completed 13 passes for 25 attempts. 7 of those passes were completed to running backs. What did he really do in that game that really secured a victory for his team, other than not turn the ball over? What did he do? He didn't do anything explosive or impressive. Now, other quarterbacks, because someone said it in the chat, we were talking about, where was it? I think it was Chris Spencer. I think he said you got to give Brady the GOAT. I just think it's one of those things where other quarterbacks have to make plays for their team because their defense can't bail them out. Brady he doesn't take many 3 and outs, but he doesn't have to win the game by himself. He really doesn't. His defense will take care of things. I think they did a statistic that in 19 seasons or 18 seasons that Brady has played, he's had a top 10 defense like 11 times. In the 45 seasons that Rodgers, Breeze, and Manning played, they had a top 10 defense 10 times.
Right.
So it just goes to show you the level of athlete that they were playing with on the other side of the ball that happened to help them out. But I don't want to make this. We kind of deferred a little bit for like the last 5 minutes talking about Brady, but I think it goes well with what's going to happen on Sunday. If the Bills can generate pressure with Oliver, Hughes, Starr, and or Jordan Phillips, whoever's in there, and you got Trent Murphy and Shaq Lawson, and they're able to rotate without Brady running a hurry up. They're able to play man under. You're gonna hit the button. Go ahead. Man under 2 deep.
Okay.
Again, man under 2 deep. But the thing is, that is what has really given Brady the trouble with playing against defenses that do that to him, that don't bring odd pressures. I mean, did Rex Ryan fool him a couple times? Yeah, but I believe that the Patriots did beat them in AFC Championship games, so Rex didn't confuse him too long. So, what are the most cliched things we could say now, Paul? I mean, to talk about this game that the Bills are going into, don't turn the ball over. Got to establish the run. Got to hit those deep balls. You know what I mean?
I think we need to talk about the type of pressure that the Bills need to put on Brady to be effective, because we say, well, you got to get home with 4. Well, okay. I mean, that's ideal with any situation, right? It is cliche. We got to get home with 4. Okay. But I think the type of pressure that we've seen the Bills run previously was Murphy and Hughes would really try and take the tackles far downfield, right, and make the quarterback step forward into the pressure from the interior of the line. Now, I expect to see Lorenzo Alexander down in the dirt often, right, in this game. I just expect to see him rotating in on that defensive line often. That's really what I expect to see. I expect to see a lot of Ciaran Neal, a lot of Dean Marlowe, and a lot of Lorenzo Alexander on the line. So, I mean, you call me crazy if you want to, but I think what you need to stop doing is I think you need to stop trying to shoot Jerry Hughes and Trent Murphy down the field as far as you can. You need to start trying to tighten that pocket, because Brady won't step back. He's not going to step back away from coverage. And when you rush Hughes and Murphy on the outsides down the field, you're allowing him to step forward. And that's when he's really effective. You need Brady to try and make time going backwards, because he's certainly not going to get outside the pocket on you. So the first thing that I'm going to pay attention to when watching this game is, where is that edge pressure? How are they creating edge pressure? Are they doing what Jerry Hughes loves to do, which is run 10 yards past the quarterback and circle back around? Or is he really trying to cut that edge tighter? You just have to be careful with the type of pressure you're going to put on Brady. And I think you need to bring those angles in against him. And I don't know if I'm going to see that on Sunday. What do you think?
The moment is just I love that comment. I the moment. If Brady is throwing in just 2.3 seconds, how do we stop him? Do we go man also? I don't even. Now, if Brady's getting rid of the ball the way he gets rid of the ball as fast as he does, twists or stunts, you can't do them. It's irrelevant. You can't do a twist or a stunt in 2.3 seconds.
Yeah, you don't have time.
So you got to rush straight up the field, which means it makes it easier for your linemen to block, because if they're never going to twist or stunt, you don't have to call out, do switches. You just play man on. So what does that force teams to do? That force teams to bring more pressure to try to get in Brady's face. Well, Brady knows what zone you vacate when you try to bring pressure. This is why blitzing never works against him. Does man coverage work? I don't know. Edelman gets away from everybody. Every wide receiver gets away from it. He'll find the mismatch in the defense that you have. You have to have the defensive talent to go man on man with the defense he has, because Brady's not going to take off. Okay, you want to go man on Dorsett, you want to go man on Edelman, you lock those guys up. Okay, who's got James White coming out of the backfield? Who's got Sony Michel? Who's got Rex Burkhead? So that was always a defensive disadvantage for teams that used to play him. Okay, you want to play Brady straight up, rush 4, and then cover with everybody else. Now, what you have to ask yourself is that, to a man, do they have the horses to take care of the guys that they're going against? Okay, do we have a slot corner that can take on Edelman? Okay, does Kevin Johnson on Edelman make you feel comfortable? Does dropping Hyde or Poyer down in the box to cover Dorsett make you feel comfortable? Does Gordon on Trey worry you? Does Sony Michel or James White going out of the backfield with Tremaine Edmonds and Matt Milano, is that an advantage for the Buffalo Bills? All of these questions have to be answered whether or not the Bills plan on going man and or bringing pressure. So in that respect, what you need to do is you need to stay in your lanes. And it's so different with Allen versus Brady, because you don't have to stay in your lanes with Brady because you fear he's going to run. You got to stay in your lanes to get your hand up in the passing lane and try to knock a pass down. So with Allen, you got to stay in your lanes because he'll take off on you. So all of those questions, if you can answer yes to all the Buffalo Bills having more talent and more, having more athletic prowess than their counterparts on the offensive side of the ball, then I think Brady will struggle. But if you can't tell me without a shadow of a doubt that they're going to have the advantage, I mean, you could scheme up a lot of things you want against Brady. He's going to beat you. So you have to have the horses in place to cover.
Brady has been abusing zone coverage inside for years, right? Because for a long time, they depended on Edelman or whoever his slot receiver was, Welker, when he was with the Patriots, that as soon as he saw zone, he knew that Welker was the guy. Or now, as soon as he sees zone, he knows Edelman's the guy, because Edelman on a linebacker is a win all day, right? He depended on those windows of pass off in zone, right? Like that's what he's been abusing his whole career, is that when linebackers are in zone coverage against Edelman. That's it. Like it's an easy game to play, right?
Yeah.
It becomes an easy game to play.
Donnie Brooks says, put Beasley on Edelman. Bam.
Not Troy Vincent. Remember when Troy Vincent was playing defensive back for Belichick? It was Troy Vincent, right?
Troy Vincent was like 47 years old. I'm pretty sure he was. I'm pretty sure
he was.
I think he played with Vince Papale in Philly.
John Walker says, I feel like Trey can lock up Gordon, but I think Levi will have trouble on Julian Edelman. I don't know if Levi is going to play the slot, which is typically where Edelman lines up. I mean, we saw Trey float around a little bit against the Bengals. So do I like Trey on Gordon? Yeah, I do. Like if I'm talking about a matchup, that's the one I want. I want Trey and Gordon together. I don't expect to see Levi Wallace there. I expect Wallace will probably be on Dorsett. And if Teron Johnson is healthy, which from what I've heard is unlikely, it's probably going to be a combination of Dean Marlowe, Kevin Johnson, and Ciaran Neal. If Ciaran Neal is on Edelman, that's problems.
You don't even need to say it.
That's problem.
And we're not bagging on Neal. He's just a better run supporter than a coverage guy.
Right.
He may have.
And we know that the Patriots backs are the massive amount of the touches that this offense gets is often to the backs. James White has been murdering it for the last few years. Burkhead again was limited, but Sony Michel has not looked great this year, and I don't think he's going to get anywhere on the ground against the Bills. I mean, I just don't foresee the Patriots being able to run. It's going to be a lot of those real quick. You're going to see the play action game, and that's what I'm most curious about is the play action game and how Edmonds responds to that. So it's another thing to keep an eye on is how often are they play action at the start of the game, and what's Edmonds doing in response to it. Because Edmonds got caught up with so much last year on play action. It got better, but no team has really attacked him with that yet.
I agree, because no team could develop any kind of run game consistently,
right?
Because of the front four. And once
right.
you're able to do that, like you said, the offensive line coach for the New England Patriots will try to scheme something against his defensive line to get cracks open and to try to bring Edmonds up. I understand that. Going back to your previous point, would you feel uncomfortable if the Bills try to throw a wrinkle in their defense by playing Wallace on Gordon with Hyde over the top and then putting Trey on Edelman? Would that worry you? Or
see, it's funny because Below Zero just said something similar. He said Trey on Edelman gives safety help to Gordon and let Wallace take Dorsett.
Yeah.
You know, I trust Trey is a phenomenal mirror corner,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Trey in the slot would be just fine because that fits to his strength, honestly, right? Kevin Johnson would be fine in the outside against Dorsett. Levi Wallace could match up against Gordon, I think. And Trey in the slot, I think from a skill set standpoint, that works for his skills. But the truth is, it's the only time you're going to ask him to play slot all year. It's not going to go well. As good as Trey is as a mirror, because he flips his hips so well in coverage. But it's the only time you're going to ask him to play in the slot all season, man. I don't think it's a good idea to ask him to do it.
Hey, you got to win by attrition somewhere. Now,
I get it.
Which one of the wide receivers for the New England Patriots? I'm just going to go outside a box a little bit before we have to go. Which one of the wide receivers for the Patriots do you think is most comparable to Calvin Ridley?
Dorsett.
That's who you put Wallace on.
Yeah.
Because
why?
Roll Tide.
Oh, God, stop it.
He had to cover him every day in practice. Why is this so unbelievable that would be an idea? Okay, roll your... Was it, if it was Clemson, would it be better? If it was Ohio State?
Never draft a cornerback from Ohio State, ever.
Lattimore.
Yeah, the Bills didn't draft him either. Good job, Buffalo.
He's having...
I know he's defensive rookie of the year, but that's irrelevant.
No, but that was just one of those...
It's like, it's this, never drafted a cornerback from Ohio State is the same adage as never draft a defensive end from Clemson. It's all the same. All the same.
Cleveland Farrell? No, I'm just kidding.
Shaq Lawson.
Yeah, I'm just.
Shaq played well. Shaq, limited snap count.
Yes.
They've limited his role. Shaq has played well. Personally, I think he's earned more than 30% snaps at this point. He's not getting them, but he's in a contract year, so Lord only knows what's going on behind the scenes.
Absolutely, I have no idea what's going on. But I mean, it's just a point to ponder that nobody's talking about. I thought it was very interesting, the fact that he had to cover Ridley in practice every day and Daboll's probably seen that and is like, okay, I think this guy, it could be in other guys' ears. You never know. I mean, I like what Lawson. Not Lawson. I like what Lawson brings to the table too, but I like what Wallace brings to the table as far as a corner, because when you start talking about this defense, he's like the sixth guy you name, and he's amazing. So in that respect, he's kind of hidden in there, and he's able to do what he needs to do, and he's targeted so much more than Trey White because of what Trey White's able to do, and he's successful. So so ladies and gentlemen, we're nearing the end. Do you want to go? Do you want to keep going?
Go.
Right,
there's a couple questions I want to ask you. So
okay.
If we're looking at this game, right? So if we had to pick two keys for the Buffalo Bills to be able to do in this game, what are they? So what are your two keys to victory for the Bills? If you had to pick something right now, throw it on the whiteboard, throw it on the chalkboard and lock it in. What are your two keys to victory?
Don't blitz and establish the run.
Okay.
Don't blitz Brady. Don't give him those easy throws where you vacate the zone. Don't do that.
Run, boys. I had to come in here and poke the bear. 30-7 Patriots. See you Sunday. Oh, buddies. We're going to war Sunday.
Yes,
we're going to war. more.
We will. We gotta get on him for a simulcast. It should be fun. But no,
Yeah.
and the other thing is, I think you need to run the ball because as I can't believe I'm gonna freaking say this. You got to keep that offense off the field, and you need to rest your defense to do the things that they need to do. And the way that the Buffalo Bills platoon guys with their defensive fronts, you could tire that defense out really quick. And you're not going to be able to get the right rotation in there if Brady's calling plays pretty quick. So what you need to do is you don't blitz him. You try to rush four. You play man under two deep. On the offensive side of the ball, you have to try to generate some kind of a run game so that people will – you got to get another guy creeping in the box so the wide receivers can get open on the back end. As much as I hate Belichick, I don't like Gilmore. Collins is a monster in there. I mean, they still got Chung, who hasn't been arrested yet, but that's pending. The thing is,
There's still 2 days before the game, Mark. Anything's possible.
Yeah, true. Brady's going to complain about his Wi-Fi in the Buffalo hotels, but that's the way it works. But that's the thing. That's what you need to do. You can't put everything on Allen's shoulders this game. It's too much for him. Now, when they play the Patriots the second time, after he has a bunch of games under his belt, maybe you can take your foot off the gas when the run game a little bit. Maybe you can let the kid be an athlete and everything. I think he's going to be an athlete anyway. The first time he gets flushed out of the pocket, he's going to put that ball in the 17th row and throw it away, because this is going to be such a close to the vest game. I don't think anybody in the land of the Patriots thinks it's going to be that close of a game, but I really think it would. You have two top-notch defenses here. What do you think, Paul? What are the two keys to the game for the Bills to secure a victory?
So there's a caveat here, right? So there's the caveat. It is get Josh Allen in a rhythm early, right? Because we saw the first game of the season, everybody was super critical of the fact that he threw like 18 passes in a row. But I thought the very valid point to be made was maybe they were trying to get Allen in rhythm, right? Mm-hmm. Let's kick the dust off right now. Let's go. Let's just keep throwing. Right. I think there's a point to be made there. I think if you want to keep up with the Patriots, you have to make sure that Josh Allen's on point that day. So does that, whatever that means, right? Get Josh Allen in a rhythm early. However, I do have to put a caveat on that. And the caveat there is make sure that you're limiting Devin Singletary's exposure to contact, right, early in the game. So if Devin Singletary is going to play, he is the only real big explosive threat that this offense has seen. I know we saw Dawson Knox, become the juggernauts and all that. Like, I get that, right? But funny. Singletary has performed in week after week. He's able to give this offense a little bit of life, and without him, this offense was really stagnant. So I think you want to make sure that you're limiting his contact while getting Josh in rhythm. So that's point one. Point two is, for the love of Christ, can we make a halftime adjustment that works, please? Like, can we have a third quarter that doesn't make me want to go get a spoon and dig out my eyeball? Like, it's just, can we make a third quarter adjustment, please?
That is amazing. If that comment alone didn't get us everyone hit the like button.
Yeah, the third quarter's been just a desert for Buffalo. It's been terrible.
It's tough. I mean, the first game was at home. The first game at home, I believe Dable was ordering stuff from Anchor Bar. So I don't even think he was making halftime adjustments. You definitely have to come out a little stronger after halftime, knowing how the Patriots go, and then depending on how everything starts the game off. They usually like receiving the second half kickoff. So I think you're putting your best unit on the field for the second half. So that offense will still have a little bit more time. If that's the case, the offense will still have a little bit more time even after halftime to adjust to certain things that they want to do. So like I said, I don't think you can put too much on Allen's plate in this game. I'm expecting it to be a close game. May not be, I don't know, but that's what I'm expecting. I think these two top flight defenses are going to keep things really close to the vest. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a 6-0, 6-3 game at halftime. It really wouldn't. Wouldn't shock me one bit.
This is a game where I look at the running back depth and I'm just like, I wish we were a little deeper. Like, I like Singletary, but he's banged up.
Giggity.
Yeldon, again, kind of concerns me a little bit. But Yeldon gives you something that the Bills haven't shown yet, and it's the ability to run the hurry up and run 5 wide. with Yeldon because he's a big dude. Like, he's 6'2". He's no small guy.
He's a big guy.
Yeah. So Yeldon gives you the ability to stay on the field and run that defense down, right? And we haven't seen the Bills do that with Yeldon. We saw them do it at the beginning of the season with Singletary, right? But we haven't seen them do it with Yeldon yet. So I'm very curious to see how that works. And if that's going to be another wrinkle that we see into the game, because we have not seen Yeldon used like that. And that was one of the reasons I thought he was on this team, was to, help in the 4-minute offense or help in a hurry up offense, because from a personnel standpoint, right, you can show 11 personnel and go 5 wide and be just fine. If you have Knox and Yeldon out there, you're going to be just fine at a 5 wide set that way. And then you can immediately go back to 11 personnel the next play. It's the versatility is there for this offense. I just haven't really seen it yet. So I'm super excited that we're going to be calling this game on Sportscaster and YouTube play-by-play. I cannot wait. I just can't wait to call this game.
Yeah,
We need all the beer.
Oh yeah, we're getting all the beer, and
we need all the beer.
Yeah, so make sure you guys stay tuned. We are going to be on Sportscaster exclusive on Saturday morning for you, to give you we have the nuts and bolts preview, basically, of the Bills versus the Patriots. If anything is to manifest by that time, obviously we'll have some more information for you on Saturday. And then on Sunday, like Paul said, we're going to be calling the game simulcast on Sportscaster and YouTube with the extremely low latency that that Sportscaster has. You could just turn the game on, turn the volume down, and turn us up. It's gonna be a great time. I mean, we're gonna have so much fun doing it. Also on Saturday, what we're gonna do on Saturday, and then on the subsequent broadcast on Sunday, we're gonna give you information. A lot of people were inquiring about the wristbands for hashtag what drives you. We are going to be releasing information on how you guys can get those for yourself, and how you can contact us in order to get those. Some of the merch that we're going to have is going to be coming up by the end of October. We're going to have it set up for you guys. We have some very cool ideas for you guys if you want some merch from hashtag. And yeah, I can't wait. I'm going to be a little bit worse for wear, though, Paul, because you know that I do the games for Brockport on Saturday with Ryan Lasel from Rock Sports Network. So I'm going to be calling 2 games this weekend, guys. So I'm going to be well warmed up for the Sunday game. So you got anything to say to hashtag Nation as we part ways for this evening?
I think we need to put it to the chat to see what kind of beer we're going to be drinking on Sunday.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of beer we should drink. What kind of beer should we grab? We did Sam Adams Cold Snap and Oktoberfest last time. Y'all saw how that worked out. So maybe we should go with something a little lighter. Guinness.
No, Donnie. By the way,
Guinness with a straw like a real man.
Yeah, we iron things out. If we make mistakes, we only make them no more than like 17 times, Donnie. But the problem is, the thing that we had trouble with last time we called the game, that problem has been fixed. So we're going to be calling the game in real time now. We'll make sure we have that for you guys. It's going to be pretty awesome. So yeah, Paul, cold. Is that a beer? Can I get cold beer? That's
cold beer.
That's all I care about, really. That's
cold beer here, like Conehead.
Scott Blakely, Crown Royal. If you want me to survive to the fourth quarter or at all, I don't know if I can. Oh my God, DZ with the 211 Steel Reserve.
I know.
Oh my God.
Naveed says Zima. I actually have some in my fridge outside.
I'm out of here.
It's true. I can't deny it. I will bring it with me on Sunday.
I can't leave. I'm the one that has to end the stream. Zima. How dare you? You put a Jolly Rancher in it too to get the flavor?
You know what? That's what my wife said she would do. So she bought them and she put the Jolly Rancher in it. And she looked at me. She goes, yeah, I don't know why I ever thought that this was good.
Below zero. What I even said the Jolly Ranchers too. Hey, there's no laws when you're drinking the claws, as Mueller said before. So
that's it. The White Claws. That's it. It's the White Claws. And can we just get a little bit of love for the hashtag things that Tom Brady does? Because some of those things were hysterical. Dano Gari's ranch flavored Zima.
Oh, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What did you do?
Have you tried the you've tried the strawberry lemon Jenny, haven't you?
I'll fight you.
Have you tried it?
No.
Oh my God, it's so good.
The Natter Days.
That
I did the Natter Days. The strawberry
okay.
lemonade. Modelo.
The
I do
one.
love me some Modelo. It's weird because there's certain beers that I do enjoy. I know this is spiraled into a different episode, but there are some beers that I enjoy that I can't. Like I could drink Bud Lights. Like I could slam about 15 of them without even, and go out and cut the grass and still cut straight lines. But if I'm having like a Modelo, I want two of them, drink it nice and slow, sitting in, watching, sitting on the back porch, just enjoying the sun, stuff like. Shut up, Paul. I hate you. Your look just says everything. You're like, he likes drinking Modelo's on his porch. Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, Paul Berg says Newcastle. Nicholas Smith says Bud orange flavored. I'm telling you, I really think Jenny might be making an appearance at the post game. I really feel
Also,
I'm really feeling it might be some Jenny.
Also, yes, throw something in the comment section of where we should eat. We're also going to have the halftime, the Wing Fest, halftime Wing Fest. So wherever you guys want us to get wings from, we will get them. No, not halftime. I'm sorry, post game Wing Fest. So we'll get wings and we'll eat them. Who'd you get it from last time, Paul? You got
Papa Leo's from Lockport.
They were phenomenal.
They were super good. Papa Leo's was on point.
They were phenomenal.
They were really good.
Daniel Gary's Blue Moon.
3.5 hours old at that point.
Oh, it's still amazing.
Still delicious.
Was it the honey barbecue or honey garlic?
Yeah, it was honey garlic. Man, those were good.
They were so good. Daniel Gary's at the Blue Moon. I don't own any oranges, so I can't drink the Blue Moon. I don't own orange. I don't buy them.
I'm not a big put fruit in beer, put fruit in a beer guy.
How about on pizza, ranch?
Listen, I'm not going to say that I haven't. I have a very good friend of mine who's a phenomenal chef, and he made me a ham and pineapple pizza once that was delicious. And a lot of people are going to say pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. I understand, but it was damn good. I get it.
The things I have to endure. Well, I don't have to eat it, so congratulations. If you like it, that's fine. I'm sure
it was
I'm sure being 260 pounds, there's some things that I consume that you're like, oh my God, how are you alive? Yeah.
Guys, real quick story for you. If Mario is calling me from somewhere and he's on the way to something and he's got to stop and grab food, he will mute the phone while he orders food. So that way I cannot hear him place his order of like 14 roast beef sandwiches and 6 pounds of horseradish and a Diet Coke. Like, he will not allow me to hear that. And every time I was like, you're ordering food, aren't you? And he's like, yep, don't want you to hear it.
Paul, I've told you this. Every time you start to utter this story to embarrass me, I've told you this many times. When you order your food and the cost of your order is your birth year, you get a little embarrassed. Okay. Scott Blakely says we're going to actually give our official score predictions and all that stuff on Saturday when we do the Sportscaster broadcast. Yeah. So make sure you join us on Sportscaster at 8 a.m. Sharp. Everything has been cleaned up on Sportscaster as well for the broadcast, so everything will be good there. We're probably going to go for about roughly around the same time we did tonight. We'll probably go for an hour as well. So basically, go over to Sportscaster, become a fan to #sports. The link is in the description of this video. Go in there, and then after you become a fan, you'll get notified when we go live, and then we're going to give our predictions and all that stuff. And then the chat works just like YouTube. You guys can just come in here and comment and do all that other stuff, ask all your questions. It'd be great. So Saturday morning, 8 a.m., and then we're calling the game on Sportscaster and YouTube simulcast this Sunday. Bills, Patriots, don't miss it. And we're out here for tonight. So take it easy, fellas.
Later, guys.